This week on JW Fusion, we have Veronica Montinola.
We're going to be talking about Feng Shui, the importance of understanding energy in your home and in your life.
Veronica,
Yes.
how would you sum up what you do?
Well, we've come a long way in this age of knowledge. And there's one more thing to know. We underutilize the energy of our space, and that is the missing link to bring us into peace and harmony.
Peace and harmony. You
The
need
missing
peace and
link.
harmony? That's awesome.
Yeah.
This week on JW Fusion, don't miss it.
Stay tuned.
Blowing in from the Windy City, it's time for JW Fusion with your hosts, James and Wendy B.
Welcome to this week's installment of JW Fusion with our very special guest.
Veronica Montinola.
I love saying her name. It sounds like a vacation place.
I mean, she gives you that vibe. You
She
just
does.
instantly
I love watching her move.
very elegant.
Very elegant, extremely elegant.
and intentional.
But this week, we're going to talk about, we're going to share how she's enhanced and blessed our lives. And she's going to share how she's touched other people's lives, her story. So, babe, let's get that unpacked and get into it.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me over. I'm honored to be your guest today.
Do you know how excited I was when he said you were coming? I'm like, it's been way too long.
He said,
Way too long.
It's been way too long.
yes,
But we only have an hour and it goes fast.
unbelievable.
So
Yes.
Feng Shui, people, as far as I know, people tend to think it's moving your furniture in a certain way, but it's a whole lot deeper than that. How did you get started with that field of Feng Shui?
Absolutely. Energy always pulled me to a certain direction. And for some reason, I was always attracted to the Chinese culture and the arts and stuff like that. So I'm part Asian. So, taking on this new thing was not very, very difficult. But since I was a child, I always thought that the world as we saw it was really different from what we were taught. I had an experience before I was in elementary school that became etched in my memory. I basically had an accident that I had a machine that fell on my head
Oh,
and left me sort of unconscious. And the only thing that I remember before I lost it is, seeing my sister and the babysitter with a face of horror. So I knew there was something really bad. But after that, I remember seeing myself as if I was looking at a movie of my
Wow.
parents taking me to the hospital and being in their arms. And that was it. I was a child, and it just became an experience. It didn't have a label.
Right.
But when I became much older, I realized that I was going through a near-death experience.
Wow.
oh, wow.
And that's what taught me that there was more to our world than what we
Wow.
knew.
Now, how old were you? How old?
I really don't
Elementary.
remember, but I
Okay.
might have been 3 years old or
Wow.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to have a clear memory like that at that young of an age, it really impacted you.
Yeah, it stayed with me. It stayed with me. For example, that was not the first time I almost lost my life.
Okay.
Wow.
So my father loved playing with things, investigating, and I grew up in the tropics. And
Okay.
when we were very young, my dad used to like to investigate, so he found this scorpion.
Oh, Jesus.
Years ago, you
Oh,
used to
wow.
be able to find that when it was a small city.
Yeah.
You don't anymore, but he found a scorpion and he was trying to see the legs and everything. On its own, that scorpion was benign. But he got called by my mom, so he pinned the scorpion someplace and I was watching him.
Okay.
So after he left, I went and touched it.
Of course.
And the venom got me someplace.
Oh.
That experience I don't remember
oh my
at all.
gosh. Wow.
But that
Probably a
tells
good
me,
thing.
yeah. But that tells me I'm here for a reason.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just
definitely.
thinking that. I always
Wow.
say, Veronica, I say all the time that each of us is born with a gift. And that gift is assigned or it's designated for you to utilize that gift to bless parts of humanity. Now, how big that portion of humanity is, it varies with each of us. I mean, I found
Absolutely.
I knew my place, what I was to do, but I didn't know exactly how I was supposed to do, and I didn't have a strong why of what I was to do. But I knew that was something. Same thing with Wendy. She always felt like she was odd, as I
Always,
did.
yeah.
You know, and now we're just now really coming to the point in our lives where we actually see purpose manifesting and coming together. So when it comes together is irrelevant. It's important that it does,
That it
and
does,
that you
right.
yield yourself
Yeah.
to it.
Absolutely.
Which is, and you're
Yeah.
you're a good yielder. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah, you're always studying. I notice whenever we do communicate, you're like, "Oh, I'm over here studying, getting deeper into the field
Yes.
of Feng Shui." So let's unpack that a little bit, because people are like, "Yeah, you move furniture in a certain way, and it brings you this."
Sure.
It's way more than
Yeah,
that.
go into, and I want you
Yeah.
to just feel free to be Veronica and educate
Okay.
Right.
the listeners. Educate the listeners.
Yeah, in fact, that is really my mission. My mission is really, one of my purposes is really to educate.
Okay. Okay.
So I studied this over 10 years ago. And, after I finished my first certificate, I thought there's got to be more to it.
Sure.
And that's how I kept traveling. Life blessed me with the opportunity to travel to Asia and study, higher studies. I think I'm into my fifth teacher.
Wow.
And I found the classical side of Feng Shui because in the United States, what became very popular is the American version of Feng Shui. And not to put it down, but it was a very basic way where people are used to, if you Google like Feng Shui Bagua right now, you will find a 3x3 square that always has the wealth corner on the left rear, and it's purple. Now, that kind of energy grid is the kind of the first Feng Shui that was taught here, and it was back in the 80s. And truthfully, it was during the time when people just wanted that kind of information. People were open to it.
Yeah.
So it was a great introduction. So there's more to it, And Feng Shui is really about the study of the earth energies.
Okay.
And is the study of how can you align yourself as a human being with the gifts and the talents that you came in this earth with.
Okay.
How could you align yourself to the earth energies so your life can be more balanced if you want to, or you could gain more traction if you want to by using the energies of the earth. When we look at our homes, for example, if you look at statistics, I think Zillow from January 2019, so this is a year-old statistics, it says that the home value in the United States is $3.3 trillion.
Wow.
Okay, so it's high value.
That's the
Right.
total home value in the U.S.
According to statistics a year ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the average, if we look at an average mortgage or rent, for example, we look at, let's say, $1,500 a month. So when you multiply that by the year, it's about $18,000, I think.
Okay.
And in 10 years, it's over $180,000 that you put into your home. But what else are you getting out of your home besides the security
Yeah.
and calling that place your own?
Right. The key to the door.
Right. There's a lot more to it that you can, benefit from your home. So I realized that we underutilize that resource, which is our home. Because, people can see that, if I move from this place to another, my life changed. Sometimes positive. When it's
Sometimes
positive,
negative.
you don't say anything.
Right.
It's great.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But when it's
yeah.
negative,
Yeah.
it's when
Yeah.
you really realize.
Yeah.
Or you could pay attention to the neighborhood. And, that house is always like this. Or there's a divorce house. Or people are transient in that house. Or people move all the time. So that's what I study. And it's about subtle energies that influence us. But we really sometimes don't realize it.
Okay.
So it's really a study. And I could say it could be science before science was invented. Because
okay.
science, as we know it, it's probably 2-3 centuries old. Whereas this is knowledge that has been acquired for centuries.
Way
You,
back,
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah,
What I
yeah.
what I have found is I study the relationship between humanity, human thought, the energy that's generated by our thoughts and the impact that it has on physical matter. It's a science called noetics, and I've been studying that. And I have found that a lot of the ancient texts from India and the ancient Jewish text and the Bible all speak of it, but it's kind of coded. If you don't understand how to look and read it, you'll miss it.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting, you were saying the energies in our home, in the land itself. That's where we come from. We're made from the earth. So there's a resonance, a resonance that takes place between us and the land. Wouldn't that be correct?
Absolutely.
You know, so basically what you do is the science that you've studied, you know how to not manipulate it, but help us to align ourselves
Yeah,
and
that's a good
coordinate
word,
with
align.
it, you know, and get in harmony with it. Because I know when we met you through one of my bracelets at a networking thing.
event. Yeah.
We set the same bracelet on, and you came over and you moved some things around and you did an analysis. And because you did that, it changed everything for me as a writer. Because she asked me a question, I'm going to tell the world. She came in my office, and my desk was where our studio is now.
Right.
And so I had all my writing, I have books down here, computer, everything to write books. But I also had photos of my guitar player people down here. And so Veronica, she looks at me and
Very
she's
elegant and
very
quietly.
elegantly.
Yeah.
She looks at me and she says, "Do you want to be known as a great writer or a great guitar player?" And when she asked me that question,
Your face was like what?
inwardly, I was, wow, what
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
And I took Jimi Hendrix down, I took Carlos Santana down, I took Stevie Ray Vaughan, I took all of them.
Relocated them.
I relocated
Out of
to further down the
Yeah.
road, you know, and everything in here revolved around writing.
Yeah, and that's
I-
a good point. That she can just walk into a place and kind of. I mean, of course, you've studied the field, but she kind of intuitively.
You feel it. You feel it.
Yeah, and she goes with that.
Yeah, and that's powerful.
And remember, babe, we had just rearranged the bedroom.
Yeah, we did.
And she walked in and said, and we got a nice sized bed. She goes, so the bed should be over there. We was like, what?
Not only that, I had bolted a 55-inch television to the wall
Yes. She's
on
like,
that end of the room.
She's
I had
like,
to-
so you need to move. And we was like, okay, hey.
And
we
we
did
did
it.
we did it.
Yeah.
And you move your desk, remember?
Yeah, we moved the
Yeah.
desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my point is that I don't know, was something about your spirit that just caused us to distrust and believe because of the energy you exuded to us. You know what I mean? That you weren't like some kind of a shyster or you just trying to get a buck, but that this was a passion and a
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
And a gift.
you.
Because you can have a passion, but that's not your gifting. You know, that's not your gifting. This is your gifting. You're very good at it. And so, but anyway, continue.
And even explaining it, she explains. Like, she didn't just say, move this here, move this here. You
Yes.
go and study, and you explain how
why.
energy is constantly moving. So just because you've taught us this today, you said next time it may be different. But when people think about it, energy is constantly moving. So
Yeah.
why would it always be stagnant that this chair should go here and this? So help people understand. Like, You
Yes.
just told me to do this, now you're telling me to do something
what
different.
causes the energy to shift? What causes that?
Yeah. So going back to that other, what I call the bagua, the 3x3 grid.
You're saying bagua.
Yeah.
Bagua.
Bagua or loshu.
Okay.
Loshu. But I'm going to call it the 3x3 grid. Just
Okay.
to be-
Okay.
It's simple.
Yeah, the one that says that the wealth corner is on the back left and it's purple. It's fixed. It's a fixed model. But as I went forward and took the classics, it's a lot more truer to how life is.
Okay.
Because it shifts, our lives are dynamic. You know, the model of nature is dynamic. You know, we have the 4 seasons.
Yes.
You know, we have day and nights. We have solar eclipses, and the moon, you know, goes through a cycle. So it sees energy as a cycle. So that is represented in the change of the year. You know, the shift of energies. For example, right now is the year of the metal rat.
The metal rat.
The metal rat.
Wow. Okay.
The yang metal rat. And knowing that it has shifted to the yang metal rat brings about a whole set of energies, a shift. And of course, we could go through life the same way we went last year, the year before.
Right.
But the way we can feel it is that things are not the same as they used to be, especially right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
There's
Right now,
definitely
there's a
shift.
drastic shift.
Yeah.
And what the year of the rat brings is, unfortunately, is a lot of emotional pain this year. And the last year of the rat, it wasn't a metal rat, but it was a yang earth rat, was 2008. And 2008 was when there was a collapse in the real estate
Yes.
market.
Yeah, October.
Yes. Yes.
It was Black Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the
remember that.
mortgage business. I know.
Yes, yes, yes. So the Chinese, in their symbolic ways, are very pictorial. So just by looking at what the yang metal energy is, I could illustrate that a little bit. For example, yang metal, the symbol, if you Google like yang metal, what's the red year for? So the symbols are like a yang metal symbol and then the rat on the bottom. So the rat signifies water. So when you have a pictorial picture in your mind, for example, it's when you have metal over water, what happens over a period of time?
The metal rust.
It rust.
It rusts and it
Yeah.
erodes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it means that things that were set, things that the structure, for example, of life is going to erode. That's, you know, when you look at, because that's how they were able to explain how the energies work, because it's element and it's animal. And they use those symbols because, you know, many, many years ago, people didn't know how to read.
Oh, that's
People
true.
didn't know how to
Yeah.
read.
They use
Yeah.
symbols, right?
Yeah.
Right. Plus, you know, the elements are the 5 elements that are the foundation of all the Chinese metaphysics arts, and it reflects nature. You know, the 5 elements in nature are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water,
Yeah.
and the yin and yang versions of that.
So would it be safe to say that, because what I'm hearing, and we've talked many times, but I'm hearing something different now. I'm hearing that this science, like many other sciences, they have to do. It's not so much it has a spiritual impact, but the application of the science is aligning ourselves again with the earth, like with physics or with chemistry or biology, you know, and or botany or zoology. You're dealing with the things of the earth in an ordered fashion to understand it. And it's safe to say, would it be safe to say that we here in the West are not as in tuned with the earth as people are in the Eastern cultures?
Absolutely. A lot of the great knowledge of the older cultures, like you said, in the Bible, Judaism, and then the Indian culture, the Ayurvedic culture, had a body of knowledge.
Yes.
You know, and they were able to maintain it and to keep it. You know, I think part of it is in the Western culture, probably in the 1400, 1500 is when all the books were burned.
Yes.
A lot of the
Yeah,
knowledge
yeah,
was lost.
yeah, yeah.
And we have continued through the industrial age where people had to forget that, or, you know, they were in trouble, basically.
Yeah.
And as our humanity evolves, we're going back to that knowledge. And luckily, this knowledge is available now. You know, and like I said, I'm here. My mission is to share it. My mission is to teach and bring that knowledge back again.
Are you finding in this era right now, because according to people who follow the stars, as we were talking earlier, we're moving out of the age of Pisces, which was considered the age of religion, organized religion, because most of the organized religions that exist came into being during the age of Pisces. Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, and others, Shintoism. And we're moving away from that into more so an elevated understanding. So are you finding a more welcoming environment for the science of Feng Shui and the things that you study? Are you finding people more receptive? There's a hunger or a vacuum or a desire for it. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I currently have private membership group where people come up and we go over the energies of the month so they can maximize, what they do
Okay.
and have a better outcome for the month, for example. And what is shifting right now is that people want to control their destiny, or people have learned that they could do something about it. That,
Yes.
because their
Yes.
dad was a bread maker, they don't have to be a bread maker.
Right.
That they can definitely, the human
Wow.
spirit, is different. Because for generations, if your father was a farmer, you would be a farmer.
Right.
Or
Right.
people have gone through circumstances where they had to rely on the human spirit to survive and to go through. And they realize that, yes, there are tools now to change your destiny.
Yeah.
We are born with a set of, so I studied also Chinese astrology. And Chinese astrology gives you a picture of what your natal chart would be.
Okay.
So the day you're born, the month, the
She
year,
did
the
that
month.
for us.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the
Yeah.
year, the month, the day, and the hour form a picture of who you are, what you came in this world with, what your gifts are. And knowing what's in there would allow you to know, okay, this is a great year for me, so I'm going to work like crazy.
Right.
Or, this year is not going to be good for my career, so I'm just going to plan on the future. I'm going to take it easy.
Okay.
Right, because when you said metal rat, I can see a lot of people like, uh-oh. But although it seems, as far as the picture, that it's something negative, you and your expertise and knowledge, like you said, okay, so this does mean that, but this is how you shape your life so that you don't feel that as much. You just know kind of which course to go
Absolutely.
with knowing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Einstein, speaking well, said that it's really the environment or the field where your body is that determines, what goes with your genes. And as you were talking about earlier, that our thoughts influence our actions. It is really our environment, that influence our thoughts and then
Yeah.
our actions.
Yeah.
So we have evolved as a culture. Right now, for example, in the general knowledge of Feng Shui, we are in what it calls period 8. And period 8 was the age of knowledge. That's when the computer came. That's an explosion of knowledge everywhere. And that's when young men became the next billionaires, right? Because before that, it used to be guys over their 60s,
Yeah.
70s,
So
yes,
over their
yes.
riches, right?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
everything shifted
Yeah.
in period 8. But period 8 is ending,
Yep.
and that's why you see this shift right now. Things are changing, the mindset. This thing that's happening right now is going to change our mindset and the
Right.
way we operate. So period 9 is coming, and period 9 is about the earth energies. That's why you see a lot of recycling, green energies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also about the female. So the females, many people say, oh, it's the age of the female is coming out. And you see a lot of female entrepreneurs coming out. So women are going to stand out more.
Yep.
There's going to be a little bit of a balance between male and female because there's been a lot of abuse from the, from the male side. And I'm sure there was abuse from females way
back, yeah.
way back. So it's coming to a little balance, better balance. And it's about spirituality. It's about people knowing their spirit rather than, being in a box. that you have to be this way because you're female, or that you have to
Yeah,
be this way
yeah.
because you're male. And it's about, having that freedom, to know who you are, number one.
Yeah.
And how you cooperate it, in this world in a
Yeah.
better way.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I'm seeing also is people becoming more aware of cooperation as opposed to competition. There's a gentleman, Simon Sinek. He wrote a book on the power of why, and he talks about infinite constructs versus finite constructs. A finite construct is based around the old business structure of me against you. My company A has to go out and destroy your company B, or we come together and we destroy company C, then I take over your company as well. That's the finite construct. You're limited because you're looking over here to see what they're doing to destroy your competition. An infinite construct, you look within and you develop within what's within you. And you look for others to come alongside who's looking within themselves, and you partner and you support one another. And what you wind up doing with cooperation, when you form a synergy, 2 or 3 can accomplish hundreds times more
Yeah, definitely.
than you could ever do by yourself. So what I'm hearing you say, because ladies are definitely have a stronger sense of community and communication and connection,
Yeah.
which feeds right into the infinite construct. So what I'm seeing is people want to understand the why, and there are men who are tapping into this feminine energy,
Yes.
and that's not weakness, it's wisdom to tap into what's prevalent.
Yes. The old model, like the military model,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
it's no longer effective and no longer good, because it is, the finite, the limited effect. And the thing is that nature, the way nature goes, nature is about cooperation.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So-
that,
and
oh
that
my
is the
gosh,
future.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so good.
And then the Chinese elements, or the basics of all Chinese metaphysics is based on the 5 elements. And it's about the cycle cooperation. There's a cycle of cooperation, there's a cycle of weakening, and there's a cycle of controlling.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So someone who would come just initially meeting you, they know very little about the whole field of Feng Shui. What is it that you do for them, like from the beginning? I'm sure you ask a lot of questions because you differ.
Oh, yes.
But what is that? How does that start?
Well, a lot of times it may become, a light conversation, but it's really about where you're at, because Feng Shui can do a lot, but it's really about helping you at where you are at, because it doesn't, it doesn't make a difference if I'm here and I'm talking to you about all kinds of theories, or you got to do this and that. It's about where you're at and where you want to be.
And it doesn't mean that you're at some low space and you need to figure out how to get out of it. You can be in a good space, and maybe we come to you to figure out how to stay good or even to get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's really about, it's about improvement. So Feng Shui can definitely help you 10, 20, 30% maximize whatever outcome you're looking for.
Okay.
By just tapping into whatever positive energies of your home, and sort of aligning it with you and making sure that the year flow, you're in the flow that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even at your office, you can.
Everything comes from your home. If your
Okay.
office is at home,
Yeah.
it's great. But even if your office is outside of your home, that energy is going to influence you.
Okay, right now, give your website
Okay.
or a contact. How
Okay.
how can people reach you?
So my website is www.lspfengshui.com. So LSP goes for Life's Simple Pleasures.
Okay.
And Feng Shui is spelled Feng, and Shui SHUI. So,
Okay,
.com.
say that. Repeat that one more time.
sure.
The
It's
website.
www.lspfengshui.com. And you could download a free ebook. I have a free ebook. It's a 30-page free ebook that talks to you about the energies. And its similarities, too, between Western energies and how you see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, listen, we're going to take a break right here. And this is part one of our visit with, I want to call her Doctor. She should be Dr.
She studies
Montinola.
enough to be
I know
one.
she does. But we'll be right back with part two in a little bit. Hold on. Stay tuned.
You're listening to JW Fusion with your hosts, James and Wendy B.
And we're back. Part two with Veronica Montinola, someone we love and admire dearly.
Yeah. And you know what I really respect about you is that you're always studying. It's not like you've established yourself as a self-proclaimed Feng Shui expert. You're constantly delving deeper and
Yes.
deeper to know your craft, which is what most people should do. But you walk your talk. So
Yes.
as you're helping
Yes.
people
Thank you.
improve, if they pay attention, they see that you're constantly improving as well. So how has Feng Shui helped your own life?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, I started, Feng Shui came to me at the time when it was so inconvenient. It was absolutely so inconvenient. We were going through a bankruptcy at the time.
Wow.
Okay.
We had invested, my husband and I had invested in 2 businesses, and one fell down, and they were going to take us with, so we had to do it. We had 3 kids in college.
Wow.
It was a very, very stressful time. I didn't think nothing would happen. But this opportunity came to me, and somehow, you know, the funds appeared for this. And everything just worked out like it was supposed to be. And I started studying, and then I realized there was more to it. And then the opportunity came to meet the next teacher. I was able to fly out. I was able to fly to learn even more. And like I said, everything just worked out.
So you kind of just took to it. It was
Yeah.
like natural for you.
Right.
Yeah, it
Right.
just came in naturally. And at first, of course, you know, family and close friends are like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And even I myself a lot was like, oh, you mean this would do that? And so I started experimenting, of course, on myself.
Sure.
And I found out that yes, you know, some things happen when you're activating negative energies, whether you like it or not. That's why, you know, bad things happen to nice people, you know, and so that's why I would love to teach that so people can help themselves so they could avoid those things.
Okay.
Right. So it is avoidable, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why I like Feng Shui and the energy world, because it teaches us that when we align to energy, we can avoid certain things. Like, for example, the month of March is when the energies have doubled. So that means double good and double bad.
Yeah, we know about the double
Wait a
bad,
minute.
don't we?
Hold up. Wait.
Wow.
Is that for this year or every year?
So every year there's a shift of
It's
energies.
different. Yeah,
Okay.
because
You
know?
energy is constantly moving.
Yeah, because the shift in the year they're at, you know, the energy shifted and told us what quality, you know,
Okay.
the quality of the change.
Okay.
And right now, the West, you know, is very good energy. but the east is not. So the east is where the worst energy is, and it would affect young men, for example.
Wow. So explain what that means. It's someone hearing that and they're in their house looking to the east, like, what I do over here? What does that mean to someone in their lives?
That means that if your front door, for example, first of all, because the sun sets right there, you think it's the east. Don't panic. We have tools
Right.
now to see, how we can measure that. And the best thing to do is try to find where the center of your home is. Get your iPhone or whatever Android phone you have that has a compass now. See, the world is it's so easy now.
Yeah.
And just see if it comes to the east or, the degrees, 90 degree or whatever it is.
Okay,
And
'cause
of course,
that's important.
that's very
Okay.
important because this is about earth energies. And of course, if you're not sure, you could always get in touch with me. You could go to my website and contact me and see, do I have this right? But it's about measuring really, is that truly the east? Because a lot of times where the sun comes in the winter is different than when it comes in the summer or in the fall.
Right,
It shifts a
right.
little bit.
Yeah.
So if you have a true east and, it's a wall to your neighbors, for example, there's nothing to worry about. But if you have an entrance there and you're always opening and closing that door,
Yeah.
then I would advise, for example, especially this month, use a different entrance this month, just this
Okay.
month.
I'm glad we don't face our doors.
About
Don't
to say,
face
babe, which
east.
one is our face?
Our
We-
doors face to the west.
to the west. Okay, so we're good.
The
Keep
garage
that door
door.
open is what she's saying.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
interesting because when we initially met with you the energies for wealth were in the east at that time, in the southeast to be
Yeah.
exact, and the west was, they say the west was for business, the east was for wealth, the north was for health, I believe it was. I think that's what it was.
We don't
But-
know because we need to get her here for a refresher. But carry on.
But anyway, whatever it was, it's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those who would be interested in understanding or aligning themselves in their homes, okay, who's the ideal candidate? I know everybody's a candidate, but who's the ideal candidate for to apply Feng Shui into their lives? Do they need to be an open-minded person? Do they need to be a progressive person? Who's the ideal person?
Yes to that,
Yeah.
those two things. And also someone who's going through a little trouble.
Okay.
Things are happening. My
Okay.
contracts are not going through. My daughter is sick. We're all sick, or I'm having really a bad, relationship issues this
Okay.
year
Okay.
or this month. What's going on? So chances are, we call it activation. You activated that energy. It's like waking up a giant.
Oh,
You
wow.
woke up the
Okay.
giant.
Okay.
Type of thing. And the thing is just to be able to know how to balance that. And it's energies are for balancing, number one, and energies are also to know what to activate. For example, there's some things that I've been putting off. How can I use that energy to just pull me up to do something?
Wow.
You
do
can
you
use
have-
energies for that.
Do you have to be in the person's presence? Because we have a lot of people who are out of state, and we're just blessed to have you here in ours.
Oh.
But if someone wanted to consult with you and they were out of state, is that something that you can do over the phone with some questions, or like a what's it called, Skype or Zoom?
Yeah. Yes, I do use Zoom.
Okay.
And with Zoom, you could turn the camera to see what's going on, around your house. You could walk with your device,
Okay.
so we could see things.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can you see energies?
Well, I could see the formation, like the architecture of the house.
So the architectural structure or the angles,
The angles, the furniture.
it gives you an image of where energies could be stagnant, where energies could be flowing.
Could be hurting you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's
Yeah. Yeah. Corners, for example. You look at where corners are, whether it's by your desk and your bed, what is that corner doing to you? Sometimes, because over time, spaces, especially spaces that you use a lot, like your bedroom or your office. You're there more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that is definitely going to have an effect on you.
So help me, because you got a lot of Christian people who may be saying that, well, I'm a Christian. This is not taking you away from your belief system, correct?
Yes, very good. Yeah, that's
So
a very
I just
good
know some
point.
people be like, I'll just go and pray about it, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the whatever being that you worship.
Yeah.
But it has not. It can be used on the same level or at
Because
the
it's a
Absolutely.
tool. It's a tool.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
I just want to
view it-
clarify that because
Yeah.
some people are thinking
Oh,
maybe we're
absolutely.
That was
Yes,
the
thanks
reason-
for that
religion.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the reason that I said earlier that that the Bible, the Hebrew text, Indian text, all point to the similar things, and you're very much correct in that people limit the
Right.
tools that the Creator gave us,
right.
the wisdom He put in the earth before there was Christianity. He put this wisdom in the earth. A lot of the things that are taught and lived in the East, people are so much more in touch with their spirituality than we are here. They live from the inside out. People here live from the outside in. And it shows
Yeah.
because
Yes.
a lot of people are shallow, not as much as it once was. But people are becoming more sensitive and becoming more aware and enlightening themselves and opening themselves up to learn and to be educated, to utilize the principles that God created, the laws and principles He wrote, no different than the theory of relativity, the law of gravity, the law of inertia, the other laws of physics, laws of biology, laws of plants and animals and birds and the sea and the tides and all of that are laws God put in motion that scientists research and study to know how to flow with them and how to take advantage of them. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just in your house.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. There's just a lot of skepticism because we were trained to have a logic mind. But, as a lot of
Yeah.
scientists say that logic could only take you from A to B. But when you delve into the energies or something deeper, it's limitless.
Yeah.
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 And I
And
love
this
that it
is
gives
really
you what you do not only help people, but it gives them a better understanding of why things are happening and how they can change the trajectory.
yes.
That's a big word
Yeah.
of what's coming and
Yes.
how to handle it.
Yeah. For
Instead of letting
example,
life happen.
That's
you're
right.
Showing them how to.
For example, this year, the year of the rat, every year, it has an animal.
Uh-huh.
And every year, there's an animal that's opposite to the rat.
Oh,
So what's opposite of the rat?
Opposite of the rat is the horse.
Oh,
okay. I knew you weren't going to say cat.
I was
just
thinking
too obvious.
elephant, but okay. That's why she's the expert.
So one of the 12, is the horse. So people that have a horse, for example, in their birth chart or their natal chart will experience some form of change.
Wow.
And what type of change that is, it depends on where it is in their chart. Is it the year? Is it the month? Is it the day? Or is it the hour?
The hour, right.
And when you know that, let's say you know that ahead of time. Let's say I saw a client that said, you have the horse and expect some changes in this aspect of your life. Then at least they're ready. For some people, it's about a job, especially in this environment right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be about a job. And if they are proactive and they start looking, and because that's the best time to find a job, right? When you're still employed.
Yes.
You make
Yes,
your
that's true.
contacts,
Yeah.
That's true.
and see what the possibilities are.
And you have a different energy about you. You don't have
Right.
a spirit
Not
of
a
desperation.
Right, not a fear
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
You're ready, you're
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah.
And, because when something bad happens, the thing is, we could fall. And we could fall really hard, where, we might not get a job for another few months. And then that's an interruption of, assets, of payments, and everything. It could just ruin your
Okay.
outlook.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you do it ahead of time, your
You know
growth
it's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your growth is continuous, where
Yeah.
you're not dropping down where you can never get up to that same level.
Okay.
So that's the benefit, of aligning with the energies.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how do your kids, do they practice Feng Shui?
Well, they've been asking me, Mom, is this a good day? So this month, the funny thing is the 3 older kids that we have are all moving.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, Mom, is this a good day to move? Mom, when should we sign our contract?
Yeah.
Man, they got it. They
Is
got
this a
mama
good
just
house?
tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this a good house for us? Is this a good day to go see a client today?
Wow.
Yeah, and why is it that this day was so, I didn't get anything done. Was it a good day, Mom? I said, no. So, yeah.
Because as far as looking for a house, most people kind of know what kind of house they want. They don't think about the environment around the house, or as you said, the earth that the house is built on. So it would be helpful to even, okay, wait, I can't go see this house. So I see Veronica.
Right.
Telling you what-
That's the best time to do it before,
Yeah.
because a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to move to a new place. I'm going to get it, and then I'll call you.
Yeah.
But the
no.
truth is, you got to do it before, because
Right.
once you get the house, you can't change.
Right.
Okay.
Not your average person. Right.
Right. It's a big investment. It's a big process. So the best thing is to do it beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah. But a lot of times, a house calls us.
I believe that strongly.
We get attracted to this house for some reason, and it's because somehow you're aligned for that house. But if it is that you're going through some negative thing, it would be good to know. But sometimes is where you're at in your development.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people may not call me and say, "Oh, I'll call you later."
Yeah.
Because it's something that they have to go through, and it's really not my place to change that. It's really
That's their
help
journey.
them. Yeah.
Right.
Help
Right.
them where they're at. Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. So what's new? What new knowledge are you seeking after? Because you're always
Right. What she said.
you're
She was level
always
5 now,
seeking
something like that.
to elevate your level of knowledge. So what have you got going on?
So the latest trip I had was to learn what is called. It's called the Art of War. I mean, people know the Art of War, Sun Tzu
book.
Art of War. But this is really the mechanics of that, and it's called Chimen Donjia, in
Okay.
Chinese. It's about knowing, what to do at a certain time. And it's about, let's say you're going to an interview, and you want to make sure that interview goes well. It's about knowing where to sit, where to be before it or during that time to have a better outcome.
Wow.
It's like the law of attraction, but in steroids,
Yeah.
because the law of attraction is about wishing, it's about praying. But this gives you a time, a place, and a location.
Wow.
Really powerful.
Wow. That is powerful.
That is.
Yeah.
Because I know I had been studying the idea of being able to impact the outcome of an event. And
Yeah.
the thing that I studied it was saying that you get into a meditative state and you see the person that you're going to be speaking with and you present what you have to say to them. And then you envision them responding positively to what you're saying. And they said the key is that what you're presenting is cooperative and it benefits all parties involved.
Yes.
Say, for instance, if you're seeking a position of growth or a promotion, you present to your supervisor, the boss, or a new employer, this is what I have to offer, and this is why it would be of benefit to you or to the company to put me in this position. And the research that I saw was people that have done that the person that they go meet, they present the idea to the person that's seeking the position. They don't even have to bring it up.
Wow.
So there's something to preparation and mindset and purpose and your intent. Your intent or your intention is huge
Yes.
as far as spirituality goes.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
because it's important that your intention is aligned with who you are.
I was about to say, some people are trying to do something that's against
Right.
who they are.
Yeah.
So how do you help that person?
Well, it's just to know what their makeup is. Some
Yeah.
people are good at visualizing.
Okay.
Not everybody is a good visualizer.
Okay.
For example, Steve Jobs was a great visualizer. You know, he had the idea in his head way before everybody
Okay.
else.
Okay.
Right? And some people are good healers, for example. They'd be better healers than anybody. Some people are good at bringing people together. So everybody has a gift, and it's knowing what your gift is and being able to use it that way. You know, you can get to be a better visualizer if, you know, you're not a visualizer, but with practice.
Right.
But it all starts from where you're at. So you got to hone first, what is it that you were born with, you know, and step up from there.
So is that
Yeah.
is that a part of what you do, or are you limited to the energy flow?
Well, energy flow for me is energy of your home, energy of, you know, your birth chart, your astrology, because that's what you were born with.
Okay.
And it's also about energy of your actions. In Chinese metaphysics, you know, we have the Trinity. We say we have a Trinity, just like in Christianity. You know, I was brought up Catholic, so we have the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. We have what is called heaven, men, and earth.
Okay.
So heaven is, you know, the things that we don't have control of.
Okay.
You know, things that we brought with us to this earth. We were born at a certain time, and that became the imprint of who
Right.
we become. You know, the earth energies is Feng Shui.
Okay.
And the man energies, or the human energies, because men and women, is what we do, what we decide to do with our actions. So that's
Okay.
why we always have that, I can't say the control, but we can decide that's free will. We have that free will to say yes, or that intention. I want my life to be this way, and I want to proceed that way. It's very powerful when you
It
align
is.
to your
It is
intention.
because
Wow.
that is what that's what I do. Is my gifting is to inspire people, inspiration and encouragement, and I found that that's just something that's in me. And so what I've come to realize, my purpose is to inspire people to change and take control of their circumstances, not living in your past,
Yeah.
allowing your past mistakes, your past errors, because when you do that, you're bringing that negativity into your present.
Yes.
And it affects you spiritually. It affects your physical body
Yes.
because your
absolutely.
limbic brain creates the same chemicals, those chemicals for depression, for anxiety, for fear, for worry,
Yeah.
for having a bad attitude because of what happened back there. As you revisit that, as you relive that thing, your brain says, oh, we must be going through that again.
Yeah.
Let me create that cocktail that made them feel like that at that time.
Right.
And it impacts our lives because I've experienced it. I've experienced looking back at things, and you get that same queasy, nervous, upset feeling, or if it's anger, that anger starts to come. If it's, man, I was dumb, that the feeling I was dumb comes, all of that. And now, so is it possible that the physical feelings that we have, is it possible for those things to impact the energy in our home?
Absolutely. Or vice versa. Maybe the energy in your home, you know, has brought you into that state. Yes,
Okay.
you could certainly change that. You know, moving furniture, moving things around is the best thing.
Okay.
But it would be, and you have to know what place. And you have to make sure that it is one of the positive places to do it. And when you go further, as I study further, I found that, you know, a good Feng Shui consultant will tell you what day. What day
I
to
remember
change.
that.
Furniture, yeah.
I remember she
Yeah.
told us that. I remember she said
Yeah.
it's not a good day. Just
Yeah.
wait. Just wait. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it did make a huge, it
And
made
the
a
day
difference.
she said do it, we was like, vroom.
Yeah, we did.
Right away.
We moved all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I recall was that there was we did everything you told us. I had a list. I mean, everything.
The crystal in the
The
window.
crystal in the window, the mirror, all of that. And we we had fountains around the house, and we remembered you can't put running water under your bed or something like that. I remember. I said, man, you can't.
Because your office was under the
Am I-
bedroom at the time.
Yeah, exactly. And
So you can't have a fountain.
you
in your
have a
office.
fountain in there. But my
Yeah.
point is,
Even closing the door to the bathroom, remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
and closing the top to
Yeah.
all of those things were new to us, but it's that the logic of it made sense when you explained it. I said
Because
that
she
makes
explains it so
she
well.
explained it so
Yeah.
well. Okay, give your website again.
It's www.lspfengshui.com. And it's L as in Life Simple Pleasures, LSP. Feng Shui is spelled FENGSHUI.com. Yeah. And download your free ebook.
I'm doing that today.
Yeah,
You know
that's a
about
big
the
good
ebook.
idea because we need to make an appointment.
We do. And we need to become members of the membership.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. But
So-
yeah, just the fact not only, and I don't know another feng shui expert, but
Yeah.
I appreciated and respected the fact that you have a passion for what you do, and you're very smooth at guiding people,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
explain it so well. So you don't
is.
say move this, shift that. You go into in depth about why.
Oh,
You know, and that helped us a lot because I'm always like, I'm that white person, like, why I got to do that?
oh yeah.
Well, that
We just
doesn't-
moved to bed. Why we got to do that? So
and it made it, and the room felt different.
it immediately.
As soon as we did it.
immediately.
It felt different. It really did. And so that's why we highly recommend you,
Highly, yeah.
highly recommend you to people who are listening because we live in troubling times. And so why not make where you spend the most of your time, especially where you sleep?
Oh, especially where you.
Because where you sleep, you can be blocked from receiving instructions from God. Because the Bible says, in the sleep and the slumber of the night, that we receive instructions. You know, so
Yes.
I think it's vital that we understand to have peace.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that's when your body, your spirit, and your mind rejuvenates when you
Yes,
sleep.
yes.
And everyone has, 4 good direction. Your success direction, your health direction, your relationship direction, and your stability direction. And if you are using one of those directions, especially while you sleep, then it would be very, very beneficial for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is powerful. Well, listen, our time is just about up. We thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us. And for
What
being
an
with
honor.
us.
What a privilege. Thank you
And we
so
feel
much.
the same.
Yeah.
We got to get our appointment in for our phone start blowing.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely
Yeah.
want you to be a part of this new thing that we're launching because there's so many people you can help with your vast knowledge that
And her way of teaching.
and your way of teaching and the spirit and the energy you have is so calming and reassuring. And people need that peace. We gotta have peace. You have to have that. I'll take
Absolutely.
peace over money.
Any day.
Peace and health.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
live on peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
Only
absolutely.
Miss Muffet.
Without, we can't make good decisions
Yeah.
when
You
we are
can't.
in fear.
You cannot.
Yes, so
You can't.
you do need
can't.
peace.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so
what
much.
a privilege. Yeah,
What
thank
a-
you so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So listen, until next time, I'm James H. Carpenter Barnes, and I'm here with
Wendy B.
and our special guest, Veronica.
Thank you so much.
Listen, until next week, allow God's grace to continue to flow in your life as a mighty river. Bye-bye.